What up, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report for Monday, March 30th, 2015, delivering some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO, or on Twitter at The Enter Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to our page. I hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. Oscar and Grammy Award-winning actor and musician Jamie Foxx hosted the iHeartRadio Music Awards, which were held Sunday at the Shrine Auditorium in Los Angeles. The iHeartRadio Music Awards was broadcast simultaneously on NBC, iHeartMedia stations nationwide, and across the iHeartRadio digital media music platform. Iggy Azalea and Sam Smith were tied for the most nominations on the evening, though Taylor Swift ended up topping the night's wins with 3 awards, including Artist of the Year. Sam Smith did bag the Best New Artist honor. Justin Timberlake received the most prestigious award of the evening, the 2015 iHeartRadio Innovator Award, which honors the musician's contribution to the entertainment world and music industry. Azalea and Jennifer Hudson opened the show with Trouble, followed by Nick Jonas with Chains. Smith performed via video from Europe. Rihanna performed her new single, Bitch Better Have My Money, after much fanfare over its release earlier this week. Madonna performed with Taylor Swift on guitar. Jason Aldean, Meghan Trainor, Jason Derulo, Kelly Clarkson, Snoop Dogg, Charlie Wilson, Nate Ruess, Alessio, and Flora Georgia Line also performed and appeared during Sunday's showcase. Taylor Swift's Shake It Off won Song of the Year, while Take Me to Church by Hoser won Alternative Rock Song of the Year. Summer by Calvin Harris won Dance Song of the Year. The Renegade Award went to Brantley Gilbert, while Bang Bang by Jessie J, Ariana Grande, and Nicki Minaj won Best Collaboration. The fanfare went to 5 Seconds of Summer for Best Fan, Army. Jason Aldean's Burning It Down won Country Song of the Year. Sam Smith won Best New Artist of the Year. Don't Tell 'Em by Jeremiah featuring YG won Hip Hop R&B Song of the Year. Blank Space by Taylor Swift won Best Lyrics Award. Bruce Jenner became the brunt of one of Jamie Foxx's opening monologue jokes at the iHeartRadio Music Awards on Sunday. While introducing what the show would have been in store, Foxx made jabs about Jenner's reported transition to a woman, saying, "We got some groundbreaking performances here too tonight. Bruce Jenner will be here doing some musical performance. He's doing his and her duet of All by Himself." He continued, "Look, I'm just busting your balls while I still can." The host was called out by viewers at home who took to Twitter to criticize his transphobic jokes. "Boo, shame on you. Hashtag iHeartRadio Awards for allowing at I am Jamie Foxx to be transphobic on national television. Those at Bruce Jenner jokes were wrong," Perez Hilton wrote on his Twitter. Loki's band Fariznia wrote, "Jamie Foxx's transphobic jokes at the iHeartRadio about Bruce Jenner were gross. Glad they didn't garner much laughs." Luigi Mondi said, "Add I am Jamie Foxx making transphobic jokes at Bruce Jenner's expense while Kylie is in the audience. Grow up and educate yourself. Hashtag at iHeart Awards." The Daily Show's newcomer Trevor Noah will be the new host of the Comedy Central show after Jon Stewart exits later this year, Comedy Central announced. Network President Michelle Ganless praised the 31-year-old in a statement. "Trevor Noah is an enormous talent. He has an insightful and a unique point of view, and most importantly is wickedly funny," said Ganless. "For the next host of The Daily Show, we set out to find a fresh voice who can speak to our audience with a keen take on the events of the day, and we found that in Trevor. He has a huge international following and is poised to explode here in America, and we are thrilled to have him join Comedy Central." Jon Stewart also lauded Noah. "I'm thrilled for the show and for Trevor. He's a tremendous comic and talent that we've loved working with. In fact, I may rejoin as a correspondent just to be part of it." The biracial South African made his debut on the program in December, making just 3 appearances. He tweeted Monday, emphasizing nobody can replace the legendary Stewart. He tweeted, "No one can replace Jon Stewart, but together with the amazing team at The Daily Show, we will continue to make this the best damn news show." He also wrote Noah said in his debut on the show, "I never thought I'd be more afraid of police in America than in South Africa. It kind of makes me a little nostalgic for the old days back home." Speaking to the New York Times, Noah said he was still in shock over his ascension to hosting the Comedy Central staple. He told the Times about his new role. "You don't believe it for the first few hours. You need a stiff drink, and then unfortunately you're in a place where you can't really get alcohol," he continued, speaking from Dubai. Noah, who was raised in Soweto, a township near Johannesburg in Africa during the era of apartheid, said the comedian, "There was literally nobody like me in the area. There was nobody who looked like me," said the comedian, who has a black South African mother and white Swiss German father. Noah revealed on the Artie Lang show in 2013, "My mom used to get arrested for being with my dad. She would get fined. She would spend weekends in jail." Beginning his career as a teen actor, Noah starred in a soap opera in his homeland, as well as performing stand-up and hosting TV and radio shows. He went on to be the first comic from South Africa to perform on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno in 2012, and then appeared on Late Night with David Letterman in 2013. Noah was first introduced on The Daily Show in a segment called Spot the Africa, in which he talked about the shooting of unarmed teen Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri, and has since impressed both his bosses and the network. In the wake of HBO's explosive Scientology documentary Going Clear, Scientology and the Prism of Belief, which premiered Sunday on HBO, director Alex Gibney said former church members featured in the film have been threatened by the institution. Gibney told The Wrap in an interview this week, "Most of the real vitriol is for the people who were in the film. They've received threats of physical harm, threats of having their homes taken away, threats of being forced into bankruptcy. They've been followed by private eyes and surveyed." Prominent ex-congregates included Marty Rapbun, publicist Sylvia Spanky Taylor, Tom DeVock, and director Paul Haggis were all interviewed for the film, which is critical of the religion's practices. Since the documentary premiered in January at the Sundance Film Festival, Gibney said some of the film's subjects have been targets. The documentary made headlines earlier this year thanks to its investigation of two of Scientology's most visible members, actors John Travolta and Tom Cruise, who joined the church in 1975 and in the late 1980s, respectively. The documentary essentially outs Travolta as gay, according to an in-depth report from BuzzFeed. It also dusts up the previous reported dissolution of Tom Cruise's marriage to Nicole Kidman, allegedly spearheaded by the church, as Kidman was viewed as an oppressive person, which Gibney addressed in New York Magazine. The Wrap's Sundance review of Going Clear notes slave labor conditions for former members performing service and carrying out tasks handed down by leaderships, on top of heavy financial obligations and cutting ties to those outside of the religion founded by author L. Ron Hubbard. Rapburn's wife, Monique, received pornography at her workplace so that coworkers would think she's some sort of wild, reckless individual, Gibney said. Veteran Hollywood publicist Spanky Taylor, who runs an agency that screens fan mails for A-list clients such as Johnny Depp and Edward Norton, share a particular harrowing story in the film about escaping a church building in Los Angeles while clutching her infant child. She claims the organization wouldn't let her leave on her own free will. Gibney said of the response to Taylor's claim, "I will tell you that the threats have been visited on her have been particularly brutal." Gibney also added, "A major thing the church got by for many years was intimidating people into silence based on their threats of litigation and brutish psychological games." The Wrap shared the Church of Scientology's statement with Gibney on Sunday, and he responded, "The church claims it is innocent of all misdeeds. How credible does that sound?" Though the church has been vocal about its objections to the documentary, Gibney says he's felt an outpouring of support from blogs and social media users on the internet who have joined his criticism on the Church of Scientology. Gibney said the church would attack the film in its kind of ham-fisted way, and people all across the internet were rising up to say bullshit, whether it be Uproxx chronicling the church's propaganda videos and ranking them in order of comedic content, or what have you. What it shows is that the days of everybody running in fear from Scientology are over. The Church of Scientology currently has about 50,000 members, according to the film. AMC used Sunday's season finale of The Walking Dead to unspool the first look at the spinoff of the flagship zombie drama Fear the Walking Dead. The new series called Fear the Walking Dead is set to debut at a date to be determined in the late summer and is set in Los Angeles and stars Cliff Curtis as Sean Cabrera, a teacher who shares a son with his ex-wife, Son of Anarchy's Kim Dickens, co-stars as Nancy, a guidance counselor who works at the school with Sean and is seeing him romantically. Frank Dillane co-stars as Nancy's son Nick, who has battled a drug problem, and Alicia Debnab Carey from Into the Woods is playing Nancy's ambitious daughter Ashley, who is the polar opposite of Nick and dreams of leaving LA for Berkeley when the apocalypse strikes. Fear the Walking Dead stands alone from the flagship and has been described as starting out as a prequel at the dawn of the apocalypse before catching up with the original series based on Robert Kirkman's long-running comics. The short teaser confirms that the series does indeed start at the onset of the flu-like outburst. Kirkman and David Erickson from Sons of Anarchy co-wrote the pilot and executive produced alongside Walking Dead mainstays Gail Ann Hurd, David Alpert, Greg Nicotero, Adam Davison directed the pilot. Fear the Walking Dead will debut in the summer with a 6-episode freshman season that will lead into the already announced 6th season of The Walking Dead. Season 2 of Fear the Walking Dead has already been greenlit for 2016. Yet another Bill Cosby show was interrupted by yet another heckler. The latest confrontation happened Friday night during the comedian's stand-up show in Baltimore at the Lyric Opera House. Minutes after Cosby started his set, a man yelled, "38 women spoke up and called you a rapist." In a video posted online by the Baltimore City paper, several fans can be heard telling the man to shut up, but he seems unfazed and shouts, "Tell the one about how to get away with rape." Cosby briefly interrupted the show, telling fans, "Just remain calm," before adding, "We're here to enjoy my gift. We're not here to argue. Let those people speak. We will find them and ask them to leave." The heckler was eventually removed by security, but the situation was just as contentious outside the arena as a small crowd of protesters chanted, "Your fame won't shame anymore." Cosby Show star has been publicly accused of raping, drugging, co-erecting, and sexually assaulting more than 30 different women since 1965, many of whom have only started to come forward in recent months. While the television legend hasn't been charged with any crimes stemming from the allegations, 2 more women came forward Friday to accuse him of sexual assault. In the wake of the accusations, Cosby has suffered a series of career setbacks, with Netflix postponing a comedy special that was to have aired late last year, and NBC shelved a comedy that was in developing as a possible starring vehicle for Cosby. Some of his stand-up shows have been also canceled. Roger Moore has some explaining to do after laughing off the idea that black actor Idris Elba could play James Bond. Moore tweeted Saturday night, "An interview I gave to Paris Match implies I said something racist about Idris Elba. This is simply untrue. Lost in translation." Moore, who played the super spy in 7 films between 1973 and 1985, was asked by the French magazine what he thought about the buzz suggesting that Elba might play 007 in an upcoming installment of the film franchise. Moore said, "A few years ago I said that Cuba Gooding Jr. would make an excellent Bond, but it was a joke." He continued, "Although James may have been a Scot, a Welshman, and an Irishman, I think he should be English. Nevertheless, it is an interesting idea, but unrealistic." The 87-year-old Moore, who was knighted in 2003 by Queen Elizabeth II for his charity work, was roasted for the comments on social media. Many people were particularly angry at the idea that the London-born Elba was not English. The idea of Elba playing Bond got started when leaked emails from former Sony Pictures co-chairman Amy Pascal indicated that she was interested in the Luther star for the iconic role. Elba subsequently responded on Twitter, Isn't 007 supposed to be handsome? Glad you think I've got a shot." During a 2014 Reddit AMA chat, the 42-year-old actor said that he would love to portray Bond if the part was offered to him. It took a little old-time religion to bring Destiny's Child back together again. Beyonce and Kelly Rowland joined former bandmate Michelle Williams on Saturday night in Las Vegas for a surprise performance of Michelle's single "Say Yes" at the Stellar Gospel Music Awards. Beyonce said of the crowd before the trio performed, "Say yes, everybody put your hands together, y'all ready?" Which "Say Yes," which is a sample of a popular gospel song originally titled "When Jesus Says Yes." The ladies kept the set simple, no sexy dance or fancy dresses. They color coordinated in white blazers, with Beyonce and Kelly wearing jeans, while Michelle completed her ensemble with white slacks. It was a big night for Michelle, who also received her first Stellar Award for Video of the Year for "Say Yes." Williams wrote on her Instagram page, "Thank you to each and every one of you that voted for #SayYes, and a very special thank you to at Matthew Cherry for directing this incredible video, and of course to my ladies, to at Beyonce and at Kelly Rowland for blessing the song." Michelle co-wrote "Say Yes," a track of her 2014 CD Journey to Freedom, which features Beyonce and Kelly on the original album version. The trio's 7-minute Las Vegas performance marked the first time they have taken the stage together publicly since the Super Bowl in 2013. And finally, the stellar $54 million box office debut of Home, the family film about a wayward purple alien visiting Earth, gave struggling DreamWorks Animation the best news it received in months on Sunday. The small fry sci-fi tale knocked the Divergent series Insurgent out of the top spot and held off a strong $34.6 billion debut by the R-rated Kevin Hart, Will Ferrell prison comedy Get Hard. Home's stunning opening weekend was roughly $20 million over analysts' projection, and it kept alive DreamWorks Animation chief executive Jeffrey Katzenberg's hopes for a profitable 2015 at the animation studio, which last month posted a $247 million fourth quarter loss. After 2 years of mainly missing at the box office, DreamWorks Animation in January pink-slipped 500 employees and put its Glendale campus on the block as part of a massive restructuring. It cut back on its film slate too, and when Kung Fu Panda 3 was pushed to next year, it left Home as the studio's only release this year and the key to its bottom line. In the U.S., the strong pre-Easter performances of Home and Warner Brothers' R-rated comedy Get Hard, coming in at number 2 with a pleasing $34.6 million debut from 3,175 locations, helped to drive domestic revenues up nearly 10% over the same weekend last year. Get Hard marks the largest R-rated opening for stars Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart. The weekend's other new nationwide player, It Follows, earned $4 million from only 1,218 locations to place a strong number 5. The critically acclaimed movie, marking the wildest release ever for Radius Dimension Films, has now grossed $4.8 million domestically. Among holdovers, Lionsgate's Insurgent fell to number 3 in its second week, declining 58% to $22 million for a domestic total of $86.4 million. That's a bigger fall than Divergent, which fell 53% in its second outing in North America. Overseas, however, Insurgent was placing ahead of the first film in many markets. Cinderella does have the advantage of a birth in China, where it has earned a massive $65 million today for an international total of $186.2 million and a global haul of $336.2 million. However, in North America, Cinderella, which has jumped the $150 million mark in North America and $300 million worldwide, has become a victory for Disney. Coming in at number 6 is Kingsman: The Service, which made $3 million with a cumulative worth of so far of $119.4 million. Number 7, Run All Night, in its third week, made $2.2 million. Number 8, The Second Best Exotic Margot Hotel, made $2.1 million. Number 9, Do You Believe, in its second week out, made $2.15 million. And wrapping up the top 10 in the box office, The Gunman, in its second week, made $2 million. And that is your entertainment report for Monday, March 30th, 2015. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo. I'll be back tomorrow to deliver some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO, or on Twitter at The Enter Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio. Just search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to our page. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.